Now, I've seen some awful Christmas trees. I'm pretty sure my home city put up an awful one the other year. But this may top it off as the worst Christmas tree ever put up, ever.
Now, one Aussie council is embracing a new claim to fame. Port Macquarie, love Port Macquarie, is in New South Wales and it's home to what some are saying is the most underwhelming Christmas tree of all time. I think it's the most 2022 Christmas tree of all time. Here's the moment the lights were switched on.
Okay, before it shows us, the most 2022 tree of all, that doesn't make sense. 2022 hasn't been that bad, has it? I think it's been quite good. If you said 2020 or even 2021 would make sense. 22 is, we got back in the swing of things, so this better be bad.
Here we go.
And the dramatic music. Surely that wasn't at the show. Oh. It's awful. Let's just take a quick look at this, shall we? The tree is very thin. When I say thin, I mean it's not very full. The baubles are sort of all over the place. It looks like whoever was putting the lights on the tree just basically got the lights swung up and went whoosh, and just hope they stay on, because surely Christmas tree lights are meant to go round, aren't they? You're meant to go round from the top and all the way to the bottom. But that is awful. And people went to see that. And the problem is, all these people that went to see the Christmas tree light switch on, they could see what it looked like beforehand. Like, if they were disappointed before the lights went on, they must have been really disappointed when the lights were on. That is awful.
Wow. I don't know what they were unveiling there, but anyway, locals were quick to poke fun at the council's efforts, with the rest of the nation soon to catch up. We have Peter Pinson, the Mayor of Port Macquarie Hastings Council, joining us now near the tree itself. Good morning to you, Peter. I guess you've got a pretty thick skin there. I think you've copped a bit of flack for the tree.
Well, when you're the captain of the team, it all falls at your feet, and it certainly has fallen on mine over the last few days. But, I've got a great sense of humour, just like our wonderful community has. And certainly they've been showing how witty they actually are on social media. So all you can do is laugh and come back from here.
Yeah, I'm seeing some tree debris behind you there, Peter. Now, please tell me you're not doing anything to that wonderful unveiling. I think it's a tourist destination now.
Yes.
Well, Port Macquarie already was a tourist destination, and it seems that we're even more popular than what we were before, David. So, all publicity, they tell me, is good publicity.
Now, is most of the time, it is, even bad publicity can boost you. I think in this situation, the tree is so bad that it's simply laughable. You can only laugh about this, right? Because it is so bad. And maybe people are coming just to see how bad the tree is. It's not something that is going to hurt anyone. It's not something that is that serious. And therefore, I think if you can look at the funny side of it and look at the bright side, it's quite funny to look at.
It's Instagrammable now. I kind of want to go there myself to get a photo with that tree.
True. You've gone viral. I reckon Port Macquarie,
it's beautiful as it is.
It's beautiful as it is. It's as beautiful as it is. I think the trees put Port Macquarie again on the map for the world to see. What was the creative direction for this tree?
Was there a creative direction?
Well,
there might be.
We were going for that, that artistic, abstract kind of feel this year. And in 2022, our theme, believe it or not, actually was reconnection. After all we've been through over these last few years with, fires, floods, COVID.
Yeah, fires, floods, COVID, Christmas tree. What I want to know is like most cities and towns, I know my town has, I know my home city of Winchester does, you have a Christmas tree every year for some reason. Now, I assume on the council there is a sort of a committee that gets a tree and works out the design, I suppose, and what they're going to put on it. I'm trying to think of this in my head as it is. I'm wondering if at this committee meeting they had a nice design, and it's just simply the people that put the decorations on the tree. Now, granted, the tree looks rubbish as it is for a Christmas tree. It's very thin. It's who is to blame here? Is it the people on the council that created this idea, or was it the people that just couldn't be asked to actually implement the idea?
And now, a failed Christmas tree to add to the list. Our community has certainly reconnected over this Christmas tree, let me tell you.
I think the theme of the year should be rebranded, as many politicians do. Spin this to the theme this year is Drunk Uncle, because I think that, for me, is what's happening here. I think you've set up a wonderful tradition here now. And for me, Peter, if you correct this next year, or if anyone else corrects this next year, I think it needs to be more and more cooked each year. I love this. I think it's terrific. What do you think?
It should be trending.
That's a good point he's made. Now they've messed up this year, just keep it a sort of a tradition. Keep it a tradition of awful Christmas trees every year. Just do it. Or you could actually make it funny, but on purpose. This probably wasn't funny on purpose. Have it you could have Santa stuck in the tree or something like that, or just something silly. Something silly. That's what I want to see next year. Keep it going. Think of stupid ideas, because actually laughing is good, right? Laughing is what you want. So let's hope they keep that up.
Well, you know what, David and Tracy, a lot of our community have loved it. So now what we're finding is there's a bit of a division within the community. Some want traditional and some want quirky. Unfortunately, we can only provide one Christmas tree, or we will only provide one Christmas tree this year. So we've gone back to the drawing board. We've decided up with the traditional, out with the quirky this year. And look, really, I don't know next Christmas how we're going to top it. I think we should go into the council meeting room right now, this morning, and start to talk about next year's Christmas and what we could do.
I'm happy to zoom in. Happy to zoom in on that meeting. I just want to know who the designer is, how we're going to make this work next year. I want the person who throws up the lights to still be on the tree next year somehow, tangled in the lights. I've got so many thoughts. Dressed as an elf.
Can't wait to see it. Are you dressed in it as an elf? Absolutely. Or
please don't change this.
Yeah,
it's wonderful.
Keep it.
It's just wonderful, Peter.
Well, we're glad that you guys have enjoyed it as much as the rest of the world.
It's a beautiful area.
Certainly we've had people coming into town specifically to see our tree. So, the tree will remain, you'd be happy to know, because it is a beautiful Norfolk pine, and that's what we're known for on our coastline
beautiful,
here.
I'm not sure.
So the tree will remain, but the sad, deflated baubles, as deflated as we all felt after those lights were turned on, we'll be removing those, and the lights that just didn't seem to go according to plan. So, but we'll have a traditional Christmas, and Christmas is beautiful in the Port Macquarie Hastings region anytime.
Don't you touch that tree. You tell that crane to get away from that tree. That tree is beautiful.
Peter Pinson, thank you so much. The festive fail, I think.
Just a point that they're saying here. Now, in a sense, they're right. So they're talking about traditional. Our traditional is different to the Australian traditional, right? So we're used to cold weather, possibly snow, even though I know Australia has had a bit of snow recently. Now, granted, it's traditional for you, it isn't traditional for us. We're thinking of the turkey, all the trimmings, and it getting dark early, and those Christmas lights being on in the towns. And so I'm just making the point that our traditional is different to your traditional. So I don't think that word is needed, really. Just mix it up. Have some fun with it next year. Now, is that the worst Christmas tree you've seen? I think it probably is the worst Christmas. Or actually, no, a few years ago in Winchester, that was bad. I don't know. I can't decide. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. And I will catch you next time for some more Christmas videos.